Welcome to a video about a very important, even crucial period in our lives as human beings. The greatest shift humanity has yet to see are going to affect us from the beginning of the 2025 year. What to expect? How will it change the energetic field and scenarios for us as humans? And more questions will be answered in the video, so stay tuned. You may have noticed already that time is being accelerated in the past years. But as of 2025, with the emphasis of air element in the zodiac wheel, time will be moving at the speed of air. Everything is changing chaotically and without any control or practicality. And while the old order and its supportive organizations would impose even more control and ridiculous rules upon us to hold on to the rapture in their control schemes, even they will see that it's out of their league. 2025 is the marking of a new era and end of many other cycles, as we know till this day. Let me show you the changes and their impact on a global energetic level. Let's begin with the nodal shift to the axis of Pisces Virgo from 12th of January 2025. While in the axis of Aries Libra, our relationships with ourselves and others were tested and highlighted. The upcoming approximately 18 months will be about the opposition between North Node Rahu and South Node Ketu, while Ketu will be representing our past, our karma in the sign of Virgo, and Rahu will be representing our wishes, obsessions, and our path for the future in the sign of Pisces. This is the axis of health, service, empathy, critical thinking, organization, spirituality versus detailed control and practicality. We as collective are heading back to our soul, to our spirituality and even aloofness. For some, it will be even a time for alone as a meaning of healing. The South Node will create a change in our services and practical life. It has the potential to destroy organizations and public services facilities, and thus moving us even more to our inner self. Many can follow the escapism path through drugs and hallucinatory substance and self-abuse, while others try to find spiritual gurus and guides or become ones. In any case, this nodal axis wants from each of us one important thing: the path to our true self. The more you will be aligned to your soul's path, the more healing and blessings you will get. The more opposing your nature and what you do in your life to your nature, the more chaos and criticism you can get. Pisces is the sign of empathy, higher knowledge, and symbolizes release and endings. Virgo is about detail orientation, service, health, care for the body. if we want to ascend to our higher self, to reconnect with spiritual wisdom and our hidden talents to achieve divinity and ultimate healing, we need to establish order in our life and be connected to the needs of our body and take care of it. Pisces, being the zodiac sign, signifies the unification of all previous signs. And in this period, when the North Node is occupying this sign, we have the chance to unify at last. Jupiter will be moving signs as well from the 10th of June next year until the 1st of July 2026. It will move to its favorable sign, the sign of Cancer, where it is exalted, which means it has the best potential to give blessings of growth and expansion in this period. Also, giving us wisdom through devotion to our dearest will be its focus. Although in the beginning of its transit, it will encounter restrictions from Saturn, and through this challenging aspect, on which I make already separate videos, and I will continue to make them. But after this shock, it can give us true blessings in our life. So watch for that videos on my channel as well. Saturn too is going to shift places. It goes into the sign of Aries from the 26th of May until the 2nd of September. And then it will return to Pisces, and only on the 15th of February on 2026 year, it will go back again to Aries until April of 2028. Now, although Saturn will be in Aries only for 3 months in the 2025 year, it will manage to create restrictions on our joy and expansion. This is one of the most uncomfortable signs for Saturn, and it can bring hardship and difficulties there, but it will be more prevalent in 2026. For those 3 months, Saturn would like us to work hard on the significance of the 25th gene key, which it will activate. And the lessons will be around those themes. So what is the 25th gene key? Interestingly enough, it's about energy of universal love and acceptance. Of course, it can be the opposite as well. And it's interesting because Saturn here, while the North Node in Pisces wants all of us to unite, to be accepted, and to accept others, it's interesting that Saturn is going to hinder this will of the North Node. So, first of all, the 25th gene key represents a love that is not personal. It's transcendent vibration that loves everything the same, without passion and romanticism, but with acceptance to every energy as it's the child, the creation form that comes from a higher source. But this gift of acceptance comes with challenging experiences and difficult tests that check this energy's naivety and resilience. At the level of the shadow, the low frequency, our limitations, wounds, and traumas control us and deprive us from accepting ourselves, first of all, with love. And of course, we cannot accept others as well if we don't accept ourselves first. Even the reality itself is not accepted, and universal rejection is born. This energy is about being free of motivation, free of competition, of comparison, free from our identity or what we or others think who we are. To be naive and accept everything and everyone as they are without bias. How beautiful it can be. But the world and its rulers do whatever in their sick power and minds to control us, and in that shows us our limitations and our inability to really be free. This creates in us fear of control and establishes beliefs that there are limitations everywhere. This manifests itself in any field, but especially in close relationships, where it seems that our partner limits us and love automatically shuts down. The key here is to understand that limitations can only be in our mind, which means one can be internally free, not dependent on external circumstances. Especially when we listen to our body and we are at the correct place where our body loves to be, it can literally save our life. Another important aspect here is the running from one's traumas, not dealing with them and letting them rule our life. So in the low frequency, even our breathing can be very, very shallow to avoid breathing in the full aspects of life. Saturn here can play a cruel joke on us. It believes that love should be earned through hard work, that through long time perseverance we can achieve others' love and acceptance. So this period is going to be the biggest test for those issues. Saturn calls us all to work on our past traumas. Stop being afraid to look inside and start accepting ourselves as a divine vessel of love. This energy, as all the energies through our human design mechanics, can manifest itself in several ways. First of all, it can manifest through ignorance as a form of oppression, to stay in a comfort zone, even if it's not comfortable anymore. This happens when we cannot look inward into our pain. The peoples that are going to manifest these characteristics will get a harsh stimuli from the outer world to get them out of their shell. Other group of people will be just cold-tempered. They look like the oppressed people from the previous group, but they do not want to know and recognize their inner wounds. This energy shows its pain through projections. They know about their wounds and hate these feelings, so they project it on others. They do not allow people to get close to them, and they avoid touching their wounds. It makes them and their relationships very cold. And of course, they don't have any self-love or universal love. Only the minority will be able to show acceptance because they manage already to heal themselves. Here they will get the talent of accepting people as they are and thus helping to heal others without changing others, with a lot of compassion and love. But of course, in order to love ourselves or others, we need to recognize what is the barrier, what deprive us from reaching to this really natural feeling, and not be afraid to look inside, to forgive ourselves and the world around us. Now let's move on to the slow moving planets. First of all, Neptune. On the 30th of March next year until the 22nd of October 2025, it will move into the sign of Aries, then back to Pisces, and on the end of January 2026, it will move to the Aries sign for a very, very long period of time. In this time, it will also activate the 25th gene key and, of course, create a close conjunction with our hero Saturn. So not only Neptune is moving into very fiery sign, it also activates the same gene key as Saturn. And of course, those two can create more traumas and wounds, or just bring forward those collective traumas that are buried in our DNA. The reality shakes are, of course, inevitable with this kind of configuration. And every one of us can be wise observer that establishes stable love and acceptance within, or try to oppose and receive the limitation and punishment of Saturn and mystic sudden shake from Neptune. Saturn in human design is our restrictions and limitations that we can only overcome and be wise about it through time, perseverance, and commitment. Neptune is a place for mystical talents where we get obscure view of the energy activated and where we can have even delusions. So occupying the 25th gate can really create two scenarios. Opening of collective wounds through our history, religion, and controlling folklore, thus creating even bigger rupture in humanity between us humans. Or the better option is through mutual hardship. People will understand at last that we are all united in our humanity and should unite against the forces that wants to control and destroy us. Unfortunately for us all, Neptune is out of its comfort zone in Aries, the same as Saturn. In fact, last time it was there on the 1861 and until 1865 years, it steered civil war together with Uranus in Gemini in USA. So if people won't consider their wounds on a gender or a religious or belief basis, we may be able to ride the Neptune vibe differently this time. But it seems that in USA, many has far from reality strong beliefs and are convinced that it's the fact and everything opposite is a personal attack on them. Please understand that all that is done on purpose through the info space is to divide people and make us more controllable. So stop taking everything on your account, start to think and feel for yourselves, and don't give your own authority to the outer authority. Let's talk about Uranus. In the beginning of July next year, it will go to the sign of Gemini until the beginning of November. Then it will go back to Taurus, and from the end of April 2026, it will occupy Gemini sign until the 2033. Now, only in 2026 will Uranus radiate fully in the Gemini energy. In 2025, we will have a starting point to this shift and a glimpse of what it's going to bring next. Uranus will love to be in Gemini sign because it's airy, light, quick, innovational sign. It will bring us new way of communication, new technologies, movement and travel, and new revelations in Gemini sphere. In the beginning, it will seem as amazing and great changes with the support of the transforming agent Pluto. But its high speed, its innovative and original approach requires a lot of adaptation skills, learning abilities, and open mind. For many people, it will be very harsh new reality, especially old age population or people who can learn new things. The learning process won't come with support this time. Without any structure to support this learning, it will be individualistic learning without schools or universities, maybe only through robots and AI, of course. It can give a boost of power for our technologies to learn faster about everything we do, and of course, replace the human force. So for many jobs, it will be a loss for humanity and thus drive us back to the only thing that distinguishes us from technology, which is our emotionality and spirituality. Everything else will be easily replaced. Even, unfortunately, our creativity, such as acting, drawing, singing, writing, almost everything. So what is going to be its unusual impact on 2025 and 2026? What extremes and rebellion it will bring? It can be seen through the activation of the 20th gene key in our human design mechanics. The main energy here is through communication, talking, and manifesting our true self here and now through actions. It is the energy of being here and now, being present, on seeing how the action manifests itself and what it does to the present. But we are constantly pressured to remember our past or live in the future with goals and objectives in fulfilling dreams of whatever we've been educated about. And this can create action for the sake of action to evade the now, the present, and the personal responsibilities. Doing and doing without considering what this action brings here and now. This jinky creates a lot of superficiality in action and results. A lot of action that are not significant at all. doing because circumstances dictate, doing because you were raised to do, because you were told to do. But does it bring satisfaction? This is the question. This is our rebel point. People will be focused on individuality and its manifestation without taking responsibility on the results. It can be expressed, as always, in several options. People can become absent from their own life to try to find resolutions or hope in the future. Their consciousness is as if in a self-prison. And the loss of this consciousness and awareness of the here and now can lead to stagnation and absence. It is as if they have gone through a severe shock or trauma when, as if nothing happened, it is just their brain illusions. Other people, and I would say that most of the people will become just very, very restless. Their brain will work the opposite of the previous depressed group, but it is still very extreme and unbalanced brain that creates overactivity that of course will lead to a lot of frustration and anger because nothing is happening here and now as desired. And Uranus here can create a lot of chaotic behavior for the sake of rebel itself, rebellion. These people will convert their fear of the present into hyperactivity. And you know that fear is a huge force in behaving stupidly. The activity is not going to be only stupid, but very, very egoistic. And therefore not only harms those people, but also their environment. They won't listen to anyone, not even their own body. There is a close connection between this low frequency energy and the way our brain interprets activity. The activity of these people is simply a side effect of their lack of mental peace. And as long as they do not make sure that the activity does not harm others and give them satisfaction, they will continue to be busy just for the sake of being busy and will continue to be egoistical and not even consider themselves. These people can be very violent, volatile, unexpected with their aggression outlet. But the key here, of course, if you want to be balanced with this energy, is to learn how in creative and unique way for your own body and state of mind to balance between activity and relaxation through listening to your inner voice and shutting down the outer voices. And least but not least, the queen planet of the upcoming shift, on which I will make a different, very specified video, especially for this queen, is the planet Pluto. Many are talking, writing about it, and even mistakenly say it's a wonderful, wonderful transit. But there isn't such a thing. Everything comes with, well, especially Pluto, Saturn, Mars, those challenging planets will always come with challenges. And of course, not everything will be wonderful, not for everybody. So let's see. This transit can be only if we as collective as a whole, as humans. Let it transform our life peacefully. But since when humanity knows how to do it? Yes, it's a generational planet that brings transformation through destruction. And every shift of this planet to a different sign can have a feel of death and inevitable painful endings. It's a shift in world power, in how we socialize our technologies and their use, our communities, our social norms, how we understand reality, our subconscious mind, how we connect with each other, our wishes. It will change a lot. Now, the Aquarius zodiac sign is a very cold-hearted, although open-minded, freedom lover, futuristics, collective zodiac sign, ruled by Saturn and in the modern astrology by Uranus. Pluto here will transform and destroy, or transform through destruction, all the community service and support systems such as healthcare, social security, law system, taxation system, service for disabled people, etc., etc., etc. So while some people can rejoice because the power will come back to the people to individually, and governments will fall, but governments at least have some boundaries that can protect the weak people from robbers, violence. But do you have distinguished boundaries, healthy boundaries? Do you know many people that have healthy boundaries? I don't. So having more freedom to our individualism is great as long as we don't damage other individualism, don't you think? How radical it will go will depend on your inner morals and how well you can adapt without resistance from within, from your mind, and how well your individuality can take care of your individuality, because there isn't anyone else that is going to take care of you. Last time Pluto trine Uranus was in 1921 and 1922, when between Pisces and Cancer zodiac sign. And then very radical ideologies such as communism and fascism and crazy leaders emerged like Mussolini and Hitler and killed a lot of innocent people. This despite the harmonic trine between those planets. This time it can be a start of something radical as well. But the scenery is different. This time the power is in our individual hands. Can we handle the responsibility? Or does the long period of putting responsibility over our lives in the hands of others will play a bad joke? Now, Pluto loves depth, investigation, empowerment, transformation, and the best way to follow these energies is to do it yourself from within, to learn about who you are and how to be of assistance to your unique vehicle. There won't be outer structures to help in health crisis, only you and your body's capability to heal will be the only things that you can rely upon. So stay away from drugs, alcohol, smoking, and everything else that hinders your mind, body, and soul. Pluto and its predictions can be scary because it's a new, unknown territory for all who are living right now. And fear is one of the biggest factors in madness, and extreme behavior. This can be shown stronger when all the so-called protective services will crumble and other crazy minds will try to take control through violence. But it's not the way to achieve our life's purpose. Later, as I said before, I will create a more in-depth video about Pluto's transit and its effect on every ascendant and moon placement, so stay tuned. And now I want to say a few words about the amazing combination of the numbers next year, which are by very interesting coincidence are the numbers of my birthday and months, the 25th of February. So this year is a very unique year by the numbers themselves, portraying the numbers 9, 7, 2, 5, and the overall year is ruled by the planet Mars that loves to cut off and move on anything that doesn't fit its energy. Also, it's very aggressive planet, which is prone to accidents, although it gives us lots of passion, inner drive, and many more. So be careful on the road and in populated places with aggressive and immature people. Stay away from it as much as possible. Now, it is also a year that presents an end of 9-year cycle in numerology, and that will bring forward a lot of closures and endings, and this is seen very strongly in the planetary positions as well. The other numbers portray Moon, Ketu, which is the South Node, or Neptune, the number 7, and Mercury, all from the sphere of mind and subconscious and emotions. So those areas will be emphasized too. Any escapism through substance will be very damaging because anyway, Ketu and Neptune have those qualities in them, so no need to boost it. It's a very sensitive, energetic combination that will operate under a very not sensitive energy of Mars, so extreme thinking, behavior, and events can happen. Only strong mind with strong emotional and subconscious abilities can lead themselves and others through the crises that Mars wants to bestow upon us. Remember, you do you, and everything will work out. If you do you through what others want you to do, you may encounter problems. Stay safe, and I will see you in the next video. Bye-bye.